All right, guys. I just want to do a real quick rundown on resealing a 89 to 02 Cummins engine, 5.9. This is an ISB 24 valve 99 truck. I want to go through and show you guys what we're updating and how we're going to prevent this from being a problem in the future. Your OEM case gasket. This is the gasket that goes against the block between the case. It's real thin. This is just a piece of it. This is a new one right here. Right here, genuine Cummins. It's very important that you get genuine Cummins gaskets because Cummins has updated the thickness of these gaskets. I don't know if you could tell. I'm doing this with one hand here, but you could tell how much thicker this new updated version of this gasket is compared to what came OEM. And not only are they thin, they break apart. You know, they're just a completely different material entirely. So this is a new updated material that they're using. What I like to do is I like to dress this entire gasket with anaerobic gasket maker. And anaerobic stands for without air. So this doesn't have this won't cure on you if you're taking your time putting it together until it's fully bolted together. Then it starts curing when there's no oxygen present. Now for a 24 valve truck, the timing cover from the factory, it just uses RTV. Now you can either use the gasket that comes in the kit from Cummins and dress it with anaerobic, or you can get some gray, right stuff. I prefer this stuff right here because it's 90-minute curing. Because sometimes I'll get like the Permatex regular ultra gray, and sometimes you'll get a bad batch and they don't cure. So if I'm gonna use RTV on the outside of the cover, I'll use this stuff. You know, it just depends what mood I'm in. So there's that. That's how we're sealing the case as far as gaskets go. And then for the front main seal, this is very important. Your factory front main seal, over many hours of engine runtime over the past 25 years, that seal will groove a wear groove into the front of your crank. So I do this no matter if there's a groove or not, but I will buy a Cummins front main seal kit that comes with this wear sleeve. Now the sleeve just taps over to the front of the crank. I'll show you guys just like this. Here we have a low mileage crank, but you'll just install this right over the snout of the crank right there, and this new sleeve creates a fresh sealing surface for your new seal. Because if you try to just install the kit that comes in with just the seal itself, you know, and put that in there in your crank groove, it's only going to last maybe 1,000 miles before it starts fucking leaking again. So it's worth it. It's worth just a little bit more money to get this wear sleeve. You can go on eBay and get this little wear sleeve installer for 20 bucks, or you can get a brass hammer and carefully tap it onto the crank. Also, this is an updated Cummins part right here, this front main seal. After you get that all installed, it's very important to install this right here. This is a dust seal to protect the actual front main seal from getting extra debris in there, and that's what actually develops that groove in the first place. So when you get this on the truck, this little black seal will slide all the way down over the crank. It's going to take a little bit of force with two hands, but that'll go flush against this seal right here. Now when you install the seal into the timing cover, I like to take some of this sleeve retainer, and this seals the outer diameter of your front main seal, and it prevents oil from getting between the cover and the seal. Also, when you're installing the sleeve onto the crank, I like to put some of this on the inner diameter of the sleeve before I install it on the crank, because sometimes you get oil that seeps out between the sleeve and the crank itself. So just make sure you put sleeve retainer on the ID and OD of these. And then we're going to be resealing our vacuum pump with a genuine Cummins reseal kit. And that's not a big deal. And then on 24 valve trucks, the fuel return lines, they got like a T block that has these little grommet style seals that are really hard to get. So if you go to your local O'Reilly's, it's Dorman part number 904497, and they have the grommet kit to reseal your return lines coming off the back of the head, and then coming off the pump, and then the fuel filter, and then going back to the tank. There's a little junction block. When those seals get, hard or dry rotted, you'll start to get, sometimes you go to start it and it won't want to start, or you'll get long, hard crank starts. It'll just take a little bit more time to start. That's usually what it is you have air getting in from, those seals. So I think this fucking kit's like 30 bucks there's a few more components that come into the kit. I've already used the ones I needed. And then every other fastener we're installing on this engine, every I don't care what it is, it's getting red Loctite. These engines vibrate a lot. You don't want these bolts coming loose, especially the ones that are behind the timing gears. So that's just kind of rundown of how I do it. This is the best way that you can do it. I don't know how you do it, but if it's not like this, it's not the best way. And that's not even me being cocky. I've premeditated this. I've had plenty of experience over many engines. You know, I've done it the other ways and they don't work. This works.